Yosef and Siman Dalet quotes Maria Boab, writes that we were speaking till now about the necessity the requirement to wash the hands netilat yadiyim after you do certain activities like cutting the nails, cutting the hair. Those are things related to ruach ra'ah, impure forces. But then there's also some things you have to wash for just for the sake of cleanliness. So therefore the Rabbi Yosef quotes Maria Boab, who says that a person who touches places that are usually covered, he has to wash his hands netilat yadiyim as well. So therefore a person, he touches under his kippah where it's sweaty, he has to wash his hands netilat yadiyim. A person touches his leg, under his pants, touches it in his shirt, he's scratching his back inside of his shirt. All these cases, a person has to wash netilat yadiyim, especially if he's going to come to tefillah. Very interestingly, the poskim talk about it. Even when you put on the tefillin in the morning, you're touching your uncovered part of your arm. But most poskim say, since a person always rolls it up for the tefillin, so it's considered a part of the body that's always uncovered. It has that status. But even to such a point, the halakha speaks about this halakha. So therefore, they're also very related. Maran also in Siman Dalet discusses about touching shoes. Shoes also require a person to go and wash his hands netilat yadiyim if he touches his shoes. The poskim write that the Acharonim write that if a person touches new shoes, then he does not have to. And also the Kohanim have to be careful when they put their shoes back on. They should not touch their shoes. They're going back to tefillah, and touching your shoes requires you to wash your hands. You're going to pray, so they should make sure their hands are clean, and they should not touch their shoes after they put it back on. They should use the shoehorn. They should do if they have slip-ons, mato manayim. Also, when a person is going to go and go and touch himself, or during the tefillah, a person is itchy. This is where a person has to remember these halachot. And the Ramah brings Siman Tzadi Bet that he has a tradition from the Ma'aril not to touch inside of the nose or inside the ear. Mucus and earwax also require netilat yadiyim, he writes. So therefore, if Yosef writes, even though it's a little bit of mahloket, if you have to wash your hands for such a thing, however, it's good to be mahmir, he writes, that a person should not, the Rav Chaim Vital, he writes that his Rebbe, the Arizal, told him, do not touch your inside of your nose, do not touch mucus, do not touch the inside of your ear, even though it's itchy during the tefillah, because it's going to require you to interrupt yourself and cause netilat yadiyim. So all these cases, a person has to remember to do netilat yadiyim. There's a beautiful story with Levi Yitzchak Mibarditchev, Alav Hashalom, the Kedushat Levi. He was known as the defender of Am Israel. So there was a story where it was a Yom Kippur, and there was a person standing outside the shul, smoking on Yom Kippur, a Jew. And the students were very upset, and they said, how dare he? And they know this person. They said he's doing it nazlo, he's doing it on purpose. And they want to kiss him out of there. They want to get him out of there. So they come outside, they confront him, and he says, listen, it's a free country, I can do whatever I want. So then the Kedushat Levi comes outside, the Levi Yitzchak Mibarditchev, Shalom, and he confronts him, and he talks to him, and he says to himself, the Kedushat Levi says to himself, maybe he doesn't know it's a Yom Kippur. He says, excuse me, Kvodo, you know it's Yom Kippur today? He says, yeah, Avad, of course I know. He says to himself, the Kedushat Levi, he says, maybe this person doesn't know you're not allowed to smoke on Yom Kippur. He says, Kvodo, do you know you're not allowed to smoke on Yom Kippur? He says, yeah, of course, I know, it's not allowed. So then he went to the side and he prayed a tefillah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, look at the Jewish people. Even when they're doing the wrong thing, they're doing a lot of bad sins, but at least the one thing they say is they say the truth to the face. At least they say the truth. They're not embarrassed. So therefore you should see the zechut to Am Yisrael and b'zchut this, that they, even when you put them down, even when you say they're doing something wrong, they admit it and they admit the truth. This should be atzalah for Am Yisrael. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.